Okay, I'm going to repeat the question because I barely heard it, so maybe other people didn't hear it. But I'm going to rephrase it in a short way. Excuse me? You can't hear me? Let me see if this goes maybe a little bit higher. Announcement or what? No, I think people hear us. It's more interesting to do business. You hear me now? Good. She's asking a question that do I need to be Shomer Shabbat, to keep Shabbat, in order for Hashem to be happy with me? Isn't it enough for me to be just a good person? And how about that other people that do keep Shabbat, but on the other hand they steal and they cheat and they do other things? In regards to other people, don't look at other people and say, oh, they're doing bad, I can do bad too. Because if there's 100% people doing bad, then at least you should be the only one who doesn't. People are not the role model what God wants from you. And yes, there's a lot of people that they keep Shabbat, or they learn Torah, or they pray, and they do a lot of other sins. The thing is, before I was talking that you have 613 channels how you connect to God. If you do all 613 mitzvot, then this rope, this connection is good. If you start cutting pieces off, then the connection will diminish. The thing is that everybody, all the Jews are the same. You are not different than me. Nobody's different. The same way that I have to keep Shabbat, everybody has to keep Shabbat. Moshe Rabbeinu, the biggest prophet in history, used to put tefillin exactly like how I put tefillin. There's no difference. The greatest prophet did the exact same thing that I did or do, and there's no difference between any other Jew. Now, if I'm keeping Shabbat or not keeping Shabbat, if Hashem is happy, we're not doing anything to make Hashem happy. If I'm doing a mitzvah, I'm connecting myself to God. I do that mitzvah, I connect myself in that channel. It's almost like saying, you know what, I'm only going to be fine with eating grapes and drinking water. Can you sustain yourself? Yeah, you'll probably live for a couple of years just on water or on grapes. But your body needs all the nutrition. You need vegetables, you need fruit, you need meat, you need fish, you need carbs, you need all the types of food. You can't just say, oh, I'm only eating that type. Your body needs, the same way that the body needs a group of food, your soul needs it too. So if you're only doing 30%, you are feeding your soul a portion of what it's supposed to get. Every person has to connect to God on all the levels. There's no difference. Everybody has to connect the exact same way. Now God tells you, no problem, I'm standing here. However you connect to me, that's how much I can give you. If you connect 30% to me, I can only give you a little bit. If you connect 100% to me, I can give you everything. Now we don't know which mitzvah corresponds to where my abundance comes from. Just imagine that you have 248 positive mitzvot. Positive, not because they're positive to do, rather because it's an act that you have to do. Which means I have 248 channels where I'm getting my parnasa. If you want to compare it to this world, you can get paid by check, by cash, by PayPal, by a money wire, by a money order, a cashier check. It's the same money, but it comes from many different ways. So when you have a business, you want to have all the payment options. Why? You don't want a person to come and tell you, I want to pay you with that type of method, and you tell him, you know what, I don't charge MasterCard. No, you're a business owner, you have all the money payments options that you can. So no one can come and tell you, I want to pay you with a personal check, I'll take it. God tells you there's many ways how you can connect with me. You cannot connect with me with one channel, not with two, not with three. You can do it, but the connection is very weak. It's exactly what I said before with the high speed internet and the dial-up. Now, whether is Hashem happy with me more or less if I do it, has nothing to do if He's happy. Of course He's happy. The more good I do, the more happy He is. But it's not about making God happy. It's about how I'm getting my nutrition. Now imagine like you go in the hospital, you see a person lying on the bed with an IV. So sometimes they have one IV here and one IV here, right? So this is only two. Our soul has 248 IVs that I'm getting all my abundance from. If I cut them off, then I'm leaving off one little one. All this 365 negative prohibitions is for me to stop from any external power to come and take my abundance. Now I did now a good deed. I helped my neighbor. I gave a few dollars to charity. I said a blessing. I did a good deed. I was about to lie and I didn't lie. I was about to cheat in business and I stopped for myself. Any good deed that you do, you bring down to this world godly light. That's why when we do a mitzvah, we have to say a bracha. Bracha is not necessarily a blessing. Bracha is hamshacha, that I pull down. So when I do a good deed, I brought down an abundance of light into the world. Now what happens is, imagine now you have, millions of dollars in cash. You're going to put it on the street? No, you're going to put it in a safe. Why? Because if you're going to leave your door open and the money is going to be accessible, all the robbers in 1 second will come and rob you. So you put it in a safe and you lock the safe. So if I now made a good deed, I did a mitzvah, I helped my neighbor, I did something good, I draw down to this world an abundance of blessing. Now what happens? Comes all these spiritual entities, call them angels, you can call them demons, you can call them however you want. The spiritual entities, some people will call them bad energy, a bad angel. The definition doesn't matter, but around us there's thousands of these spiritual negative entities, and they want that spiritual light. That's what they feed off. Now if that is not protected, they'll just come and take it. So you did a mitzvah here, you got $1 million in the spiritual realm, and right away something came and took it. So you didn't get even your pay. Right away you're robbed. That's why you do all the negative mitzvot, is to guard it all. I made a lot of mitzvot. I brought down a lot of light. That's why a lot of people, they do many mitzvot, but they don't see any blessings. Yeah, because from the back door they're doing so many other sins, all the blessing just runs away. So it's not only doing, half of it and then saying, I want all my blessings. No, you have to guard it. So the negative mitzvot, not because they're negative to do, because they're precepts you don't do. It's all the don't do's. That's how you protect your abundance. So God gave us the Torah. The Torah is a manual. And it tells you exactly what you need to do, what you don't need to do. If you're not doing all of it, you can't complain that you're missing things. So then you see a person that is doing 30%, and then he's saying, and I owe money, and then the person becomes sick, then this happened, that happens. You can't say, oh, what a mean God. It's not God. It has nothing to do with you. You left the door open, a robber came and took your blessing. Very, very simple. So if you're asking if you should keep Shabbat, it says in the Torah, you have to keep Shabbat. You're not different than me. You're not different than anyone. All the Jews, it says that we have to keep Shabbat. If you don't keep Shabbat, what you're doing is that you're cutting one of these channels. Then you can't come and complain that you're missing or lacking something. So one person would lack parnasa. One person cannot find their other half. One person has a sickness. Why? Because I cut this channel of abundance. Now the problem is that a lot of the mitzvot, when I don't do, then I cut one channel. Some mitzvot, I cut the entire rope. And one of them is Shabbat. And when a person desecrates Shabbat, he cuts the entire rope. Doesn't matter, he can do 5 million mitzvot. One time he didn't keep Shabbat, he cuts the soul. And there's 36 of these sins. They're called karet. Karet means to chop off. It's eating on Yom Kippur, working on Yom Kippur, eating chametz on Pesach, all the forbidden relations, circumcision. Some of them that has nothing to do with that, has to do with the sacrifices. But all the stuff that has to do with us is keeping Shabbat. And when a person doesn't keep Shabbat, what he does, he cuts the connection of this abundance. So he can do from here so many mitzvot, they'll go right to the unholy realm. So the point is, if you're asking if you keep Shabbat, every Jew has to keep Shabbat. Whatever it says in the Torah, we have to do. And when you don't do it, it's not that you're making Hashem happy or sad, you're affecting yourself. It's almost like me saying, I'm going to now hold my mouth and nose and let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm going to choke myself. And I can't complain now later on, hey, why did you choke me? I didn't choke you. You covered your path of air. So it's not about making God happy. It's about how I connect myself to my source. And if I don't connect, then what happens is, that's what I told the man before. I can connect myself to the realm of holiness, and I can connect myself to the realm of unholiness. And then I get my entire chayut, all my life force, from a negative place. So it might seem like things are going good, but it's like air pumping in a balloon, and then at some point it explodes. So the point is that you have to do everything. It doesn't say in the Torah, between 24 and 29 you're exempt from these mitzvot. If you live in Los Angeles, you don't have to do those mitzvot. If your ancestors are from Iraq, don't do... No. We all have to do the same. Ashkenazi, Sfaradi, doesn't matter, Los Angeles, New York, Israel. There's one Torah. All of us has to do the exact same thing. If I'm missing things, then I'm basically not feeding my soul the right nutrition it needs to get, and the one who will suffer the result is only myself. So ultimately, of course, it makes God happy when I do everything, and if I don't do something, it makes him sad, but I basically kind of like shoot myself in the foot. So when a person wants to have the entire abundance, he has to do everything. Now, it's not easy to do right away everything. You start slowly. But the point is that no Jew has an exemption from any mitzvah. There's some mitzvot that one can say, okay, priests, kohanim, whoever's a Levi or Israel, they don't have to do these mitzvot. Fine. But all the rest of the mitzvot, you can't find any discount for somebody, because anything, you can find very few places a discount that the Torah will give you if a person is very, 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 very sick. Okay, so you don't have to pray. If a person is very, very, very weak, okay, you don't have to fast right now. But these are very few things. The thing is that we all have to do everything. And if I'm not doing it, the only one who lacks from it and suffers from it is only myself. And then I cannot have the chutzpah to turn around and tell God, why are you not sending me parnasah? Why is my child sick? Why I can't get married? Why this is not working? I'm the one who's blocking the source. So ultimately, we all have to do everything. And you have to start somewhere, and you slowly grow. And you have to understand that you're feeding your soul like feeding your body. You can't tell your body, I'm only going to eat on Mondays. That's why a lot of people say, I'm only going to do this and this and this mitzvah. It's very nice of you, but you're not going to tell yourself, I'm only eating on Mondays. You have to eat 3 times a day. And I can assure you that nobody will go home tonight and say, tonight, I'm not going to eat tonight. I'm just going to go to bed. No, you feel the hunger, you go and eat. Your soul feels the hunger. The problem is when you're far away from the source, from the light that, like I was talking about before, you don't feel the hunger. And that's a problem. If you don't feel the hunger, that your soul is hungry for the mitzvot, a person has a problem. And the thing is that some people don't translate it the right way. They'll be depressed, they'll have anxieties, they'll have all sorts of emotions. They'll blame it on society, they'll blame it on their boss, they'll blame it on their girlfriend, they'll blame it on everybody, but it's their soul saying, hello, you didn't give me food today. Or you think you're going to give me 2.5 mitzvahs here and that's what's going to make me happy? I need food. The problem is when we don't feel it. If a person doesn't feel the soul's hunger, he has a problem. So the bottom line is that we all have to do all the mitzvot. And when you do all the mitzvot, then you'll see how everything is just flowing perfectly. That doesn't mean that it's going to come like that, but you have to do it. For this world, and mainly for the world to come. Because when a person will go up to Shamayim, they're going to tell him, you are a very nice person, and you're a very good person, and you did a lot of good things, but you have 30%. What do you want, 30% Gan Eden? No, what are you going to do with the rest of the 70%? We're very sorry you didn't do it. That's in Mikra Tov, that's in the good case, they let you come back. The thing is that, one more thing is, and I'm going to go to the next question, the mitzvot, what most people don't realize, a lot of people tell me, I'm a good person, and I don't lie, and I don't cheat, and I help, and all this, and I don't need to do the mitzvot. First of all, a person that says that really has to be honest with themselves if they're really, really good. Because a lot of people say, I'm a very good person. Are you really a good person? Every time somebody asks you for help, you help him? Every time you have the opportunity to host somebody in your house, you help them? No, you do it when it's comfortable for you. You never lied ever again? You never cheated? If you're 100%, then you're a tzedeket. But you're not. Not you, I'm saying in general. You have to be honest with yourself. More than that, the mitzvot, when I do a mitzvah, I create a garment, a spiritual garment, that when my soul goes up to Shamayim, it will get dressed in it. So I have to have the mitzvot that when my soul goes up to Gan Eden, it needs garments. And if I don't have garments, I'm going to have a problem. And if I do a lot of sins, then my garments that I have are going to be damaged. So the mitzvot are the ones who give you the garments. And why do you need these garments? Because in Gan Eden, there's a pillar of light. And if I have garments, I can stand close to the light and enjoy this godly revelation. And if I don't have the garments, I can't stand close. It's almost like looking at the sun, you get blinded in a second. You put sunglasses, oh, now I can look at the sun. The garments allow your soul to see godly revelations in Gan Eden. And if you don't have the garments, you don't have the mitzvot, you have a problem. That's why we say that there's a reward. What's the reward? I did a mitzvah, I got a garment. And I'm able to see this godly revelation. Now we can't understand what it means, a godly revelation. We don't understand the suffering for the soul that they're not letting her into the ballroom to see the party. A lot of people think Gehenom is like a barbecue. They turn you like a shish kebab on the... No. They know a lot of the problems, some of the suffering that the soul goes in the world to come is because it doesn't have the ability to see godly revelation. So it experiences a suffering. So all the mitzvot are important. You have to do all the mitzvot, and you have to do it the sooner you start, the better, because there's no time. Mashiach is coming very, very soon, and you got to make sure that every second of your life is utilized the right way. And whatever you do, your hishtadlut, then Hashem already will help you and will make it easy for you. But no Jew has a discount. Besides, you get a great reward for that, but we don't do it for the reward. We do it because we have to. Wait, she's waiting there so patiently. Yes?